Hello, my name is Sam Ison. I'm the proud principal of Waynesville High School. I'm here today to begin the process of graduation for our class of 2020. I do want to take a moment to say that this is certainly unique times, and I feel so much for all our seniors for class of 2020. Yet I will say to you that in my experience in the last 2 months of working with them via Zoom meetings and Google meetings and collection of goods and services, and also as well as doing the walkthrough and a variety of other things that we've done here, and some things that are going to put together today for our graduation ceremony. I want to say to you that I just have seen such growth and just feel that our seniors of 2020 will leave a legacy here, but also a legacy in life as we look through the times of this in the future and think about what they've gone through and what they will talk about with their kids and their grandkids and people from here on out, that I think that will truly be beneficial to them. They will set the stage for a new turning point in our career, in our culture, in our society. And for that, I'm grateful, because I feel that after seeing what they've done, that this class will lead us through a lot of different things in life because they've gotten through this. And so I give all my support and praise to each and every one of them, and feel so special to be part of their graduation. So today is the 148th commencement ceremony of Waynesville High School. We're extremely pleased that you're all here with us today to participate in this celebration for the class of 2020. Would you please stand and remain standing as Senior Mary Baker sings the national anthem, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I have the pleasure of announcing and introducing Anna Perry, daughter of Sean and Rebecca Perry, and senior class president, who will introduce special guests with us today.
I am pleased to introduce Dr. Sam Ison, high school principal, Mr. Pat Dubbs, Superintendent of Schools, Miss Karen Phillips, Middle School Principal, Mrs. Tracy Poole, Elementary Principal, Mrs. Anna Garofalo, Assistant Elementary Principal, Mr. Brad Connor, President of the Board of Education, Mr. Dave Barton, Vice President, Board of Education, Mr. Daniel McLeod, Board of Education Member, Dr. Jim Byers, Board of Education Member, Mr. Darren Ambergy, Board of Education Member, Mrs. Kathy Jo Frieda, Guidance Counselor, Mrs. Abby Schinkel, Career and College Coordinator, and welcome all Wayne local staff. I would also like to thank the following people for their help in organizing this event: the band and Leslie Schleman, Alex Fernandez, Sharon Vogel, Jamie Manley, Abby Schinkel, Kathy Jo Frieda, Patrick Cassidy, John Baker, and the Connect student teachers. Finally, a thank you to Senior Gabe Cronenberger for designing the cover of the 2020 commencement program. As senior class president, I would like to congratulate the class of 2020 and wish everyone the best as they move into the next phase of their life.
At this time, I do have the honor of introducing you again, Anna Perry, who is the daughter of Sean and Rebecca Perry, as the class of 2020 salutatorian.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the graduation of the class of 2020. It is an honor to speak to you, though it may be through a screen. After 4 years of high school, we have arrived at the close. It has been an unconventional, odd, and thrilling ending. Foremost, I would like to extend my gratitude to the people who have helped us, the class of 2020, to where we are today. Thank you to the teachers, staff, administrators, friends, family, and countless others who have made an impact on our lives. Additionally, I would like to thank all of the people who made this unorthodox graduation a reality. Thank you to all of the administrators and officials who kept our health and safety as a priority while still making this commencement possible. To quote the song by REM, it truly is the end of the world as we know it, in more ways than one. Between our progression into adulthood and the global pandemic we're facing, nothing will be the same. From now forward, we will be known as the class of the quarantine, the class who survived the virus. We will forever be the class of COVID-19. They will praise our resilience and speak of how we endured an unprecedented historical event. That is all true, and I don't discredit any part. I, however, choose to label us differently. This is no doubt a memorable time, but I do not want to reflect on high school and recall being locked in my house for 3 months, nor do I want to be remembered like that. In the last few months, as we have sat inside waiting, history has been made around us. It has been easy to feel lost, even helpless, but that does not define who we are. We are the class of 2020. We are the trendsetters, trailblazers, and the next generation. We are the class who started our freshman year with an 0-10 football season and ended senior year with our football team winning the league championship and going to the playoffs. We are the class who gathered at 6 a.m. so we could start a new tradition, the senior sunrise. We have a multi-time state champion swimmer in our midst, some of the amazing ladies who made up the 2019 state runner-up basketball team, a national merit finalist, and countless others with incredible accomplishments unique to them and their efforts. In the last 4 years, we have chosen to create our stories in Waynesville. For many of us, it has not only been the last 4 years either. It has been all of middle school, elementary, or perhaps all our lives. We have been blessed to have had such a home for any length of time, but it begs the question, what now? What happens at the end? Well, I do not consider this the end, nor a new beginning exactly. This is the continuation. I am grateful that my story has been so closely tied to all of yours until now. Now, we begin our journeys down 119 diverging paths. Some of us will be in different cities or states, some heading to a university and some into the workforce, and some still will have entirely different plans. No matter your path in life, I wish you the absolute best. Your success will be what you make it, and it will be all your own. I am proud to be a member of a class with such diverse ideas, accomplishments, and dreams. And I take comfort knowing that Waynesville will always be a home, no matter whether I'm right here on 735 Dayton Road or thousands of miles away. We took on our senior year with enthusiasm and grace, refusing to leave without making our mark. I choose to remember us this way. I choose to remember the good. If there is one thing I have learned this year, it is that this world is shrouded with uncertainty. We do not get the luxury of knowing everything. Instead, we are blessed with our ability to make choices. Each day, we have the opportunity to shape our lives to the best of our ability and must accept that the rest is left to chance. As we transition beyond high school and need to make more decisions than ever before, I challenge you. I challenge you to choose kindness, choose adventure, choose integrity, choose opportunity. Above all else, choose to live your life because it is the only one you have. Class of 2020, I would like to thank you for allowing me to address you one last time. It has been an honor to be your salutatorian and class president. I can't imagine another group of people I'd like to live through a pandemic with, because quite frankly, I never imagined this in my wildest dreams. As we take our next steps into the world, we will always have this final memory to bring us together. I hope to see you all again soon, so long as you stay 6 feet away from me. Thank you.
And our new salutatorian is Anna Perry. Congratulations, Anna.
Thank you. I would now like to introduce the senior band to perform Spirit of the Winds by Robert W. Smith. Now, I am pleased to introduce David Muth, son of Mike and Ann Muth, as the class of 2020's valedictorian.
When people ask me what I remember from a class, it's always a moment in that class with a student or a teacher. It has nothing to do with what I learned, but it's about the memories and relationships that came from each class with different groups of people. These relationships have helped us grow as individuals throughout our time in school. From worrying about times, tests, and dealing with a breakup at recess, which we did think was the end of the world, to worrying about the ACT and AP exams and worrying about our next big game of performance, our friends have been there for us through it all. They have helped us through our problems no matter how trivial they were. The older we got, the more serious our problems became. We got through it with all of the support from friends, coaches, staff members, and family members. We all remember some of our worst nights when our friends dropped everything and were right by our side. We also remember some of the best nights of our lives. Almost all these memories include a family member or a group of friends who were right by our side during our best times. Throughout each grade, we found a new teacher or staff member to relate to and help guide us through school as well as life. As we got older, we lost contact with some teachers and staff members, but others stayed in our lives and continued to help us. We still remember that year or the years we had you and appreciate all you did for us. Although our senior year was cut short and we lost a lot of things, we got through it and are continuing to get through it with our friends and family. Our closest friends have become more clear during quarantine, and for that I am grateful. The freedom online classes gave us allowed us to make more memories with our friends. The beauty of Waynesville is how small but close this community is. Being so small, we grew up knowing a good majority of our grade for the last 12 years. A few new kids would come each year and fit right into the school. This bond our grade has formed has been amazing to see, but it is not over yet. We have all summer to make lasting memories with all the people who have helped us grow so much. Whether it be helping someone with schoolwork or sitting with someone who was alone at lunch, we all helped each other and wanted the best from each other academically, athletically, or in the arts. Each friend group has a different way of pushing each other, but we all want what's best from one another. So thank you for all the unique relationships we had with each other, and let them continue to develop throughout the summer.
Congratulating you.
Thank you.
And then I'll back away.
I would like to introduce Mrs. Kathy Jofrida for the recognition of scholarships and military enlistments.
Hello, class of 2020. Congratulations. I would like to talk to you a little bit about your class and statistics for your class. This year, we have approximately 64% of you who graduate this year that are first generation graduates. Approximately 25% of you are second generation graduates. And there are 6% of you that are now the third generation to graduate from Waynesville High School. Only one person in your graduating class of 2020 is the fourth generation to graduate from Waynesville High School. I think that's pretty amazing. It's kind of interesting statistic. Additional statistics are 82% of you spent all 4 years in Waynesville High School. 40% of you spent all 12 or 13 years at Waynesville schools. As far as your future plans after high school, 89% of you have indicated that you will attend either a 2 or 4 year college or university to continue your education. You will go as far north as Michigan, as far west as Colorado. We don't have anybody really going east anywhere, but as far south as Arkansas. As far as scholarships this year, it was an interesting year, but we still ended up with over $73,000 in local scholarships that were given out last week. So we thank you very much to our donors once again. We have, as far as in the class of 2020, we have 4 full rides that were offered, and we had over $2.6 million offered to the class of 2020, and those dollars will be used next fall as these students further their education. Another important fact I'd like to talk about right now are our military. students that are planning on enlisting in the military or have enlisted in the military. We have 5 students in the class of 2020 who have plans to enter the military. Our first is Carson Lowe. He plans on has enlisted in the U.S. Army. Gabby Price has enlisted in the Air National Guard, and after that she plans to further her education at Ohio State University in business. Matthew Moore has enlisted in the United States Marines. Dale Meeks is planning on enlisting in the U.S. Army. He will further his education at Hocking College afterwards to study and carry on his paramedic interest. Our last student in the class of 2020 is Jared Greer. He plans to enlist in the U.S. Air Force and continue his career of fire EMS. So once again, I congratulate all of the members of the class of 2020. You're a tough group of young ladies and gentlemen. I wish you nothing but the best, and I am so proud of you. So thank you very much.
I would like to introduce the senior choir to sing "And the Night Shall Be Filled with Music" by Greg Gilpin. I am now pleased to introduce Mr. Clay Cleaver for the graduation address.
Hello. First, let me start by welcoming all members of the community, Wayne local faculty, administration, and school board members who came together with our graduates to organize the most unique commencement ceremony I have personally experienced. This truly epitomizes the saying, "Where there's a will, there's a way." Secondly, I want to welcome graduates and their families from wherever they might be viewing today's occasion. I hope all are staying safe and are well in mind, body, and spirit. For those who don't know me, I am Mr. Cleaver. For those who recognize me, but can't quite place from where, you might know some of my work. My 2019 commencement speech was a rave success. This is my sequel. In all seriousness, it is an absolute honor to be asked to speak for the class of 2020. I taught many of you as sophomores and enjoyed it so much I decided 1 year wasn't enough and followed you into your senior years. As with most things we take multiple cracks at, it got easier to teach you. Immediately I knew all of your names, so that saved at least a day. Even still, with a year already under my belt as your English teacher, new challenges arose. Challenges. There's a word that doesn't quite capture the breadth and scope of our current situation, but it'll have to do for now. I think it goes without saying, seniors, that the end of your high school experience didn't quite go how you expected. For lack of a better word, I imagine adjusting to the ever-changing reality has been a challenge. You might be out there thinking you were shortchanged, and you were. The last 8 weeks are a chapter in your stories, one that unfortunately you can't rewrite or take out. But no one said your stories had to end on this sour note. Rise to the challenges that these changes have wrought. Honestly, you've already begun doing just that. You were asked to pivot your educational experience to uncharted methods. After adjusting to the learning curve, each of you persevered and met the challenge of distance learning head on. It hasn't been easy, and at times, it's been uncomfortable. That's the nature of challenges. They are there to push you. They exist to make you uncomfortable, and they exist to motivate you to overcome them. Don't look at these most recent challenges, or any challenge for that matter, as insurmountable. Earning your diploma today is a major step in the right direction against a whole host of challenges. Your diploma symbolizes the grit, determination, and gumption it took to listen to droning lectures about subjects and topics you could not have cared less about. Even if you think you'll never use Avogadro's number again, or need to know how to scan a poem for its form and meter, you learned invaluable skills to apply to future challenges. Your diploma is a physical reminder of the value of your education. As civil rights leader Malcolm X said, "Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." As much as I'd love to say that life's challenges rear their ugly heads less and less often as you get older, I can't. It's not true. But with your education and the work it took to earn your diploma, each new challenge will begin to look and feel less like a mountain and more like a molehill. So today, as you celebrate being a graduate of Waynesville High School, know that the challenges of tomorrow are no match for the foundation you've built with your educations. Congratulations, seniors. It's been an honor and a pleasure to contribute to your educations. Thank you. Now go wash your hands.
I would now like to introduce Mr. Pat Dubbs, Wayne Local Schools Superintendent.
Class of 2020, I'm Pat Dubbs, Superintendent of Wayne Local Schools. The class of 2020 was born in the shadow of 9/11 and will graduate during a pandemic. You do not remember the details of that Tuesday and the immediate days after 9/11. I can tell you exactly what I was doing when I learned a plane had flown into the North Tower, believing it was only an unfortunate aviation accident, only to watch live as a second plane flew into the South Tower. I remember getting on the PA to tell students and staff what had just occurred and informing everyone we were safe from this attack. We debated whether to send kids home or to keep them in school. The United States changed forever, and the class of 2020 has never been able to walk through an airport without going through intense security. You are very much aware of school shootings and lockdowns, and now you've experienced a coronavirus that barely made news headlines in December, but shut down the country entirely in March, closing all schools and forcing social distancing until further notice. We have the advantage of looking at 9/11 in hindsight. Each September 11th is a day of reflection and sadness, but also a day to remember those moments of hope after the terrible attacks, which suddenly and unexpectedly took so many lives. Americans rallied behind the bravery and the sacrifice of the first responders, who risked their lives to protect America's freedom post 9/11. Our leaders kept telling us that things would get back to normal, even though years later they admit they were not totally sure of that. We asked ourselves, should we open ballparks? Is it safe? Are we going to do this or do that? Major League Baseball in 2001 decided to continue its season. That October, it was the first World Series after the September 11th terrorist attacks, with the nation still very worried about another attack. President George W. Bush was tapped to throw out the first pitch at Game 1 in Arizona. He declined, instead choosing Game 3 in Yankee Stadium. The symbolism of a World Series night game in the Bronx, with its proximity to Ground Zero, meant more than just play ball. The intense emotions of the country made it the perfect venue. The day before the pitch, National Security Intelligence received information of another potential attack, possibly bigger than 9/11, and the news media reported this to the nation, creating a true feeling of uneasiness and anxiety. And for the first time, fans had to go through metal detectors and security to attend a sporting event. When President Bush agreed to throw out that post 9/11 pitch in Yankee Stadium, he knew he had to make a great throw. The first pitch honoree often stands closer to home plate, not pitching from the major league mound in order to avoid embarrassment while making the ceremonial pitch. Years prior, the president's father, George H. Bush, had thrown out a ceremonial first pitch and bounced it to the catcher. George W. Bush himself had thrown out a first pitch in Milwaukee earlier that same season, bouncing it into the catcher's mitt. So why does it matter? Because it does matter. You want to throw a strike. Making it even more difficult, the Secret Service insisted that President Bush wear a bulletproof vest, with the country under a high-level security alert. Secret Service agents preferred that Bush not even make the appearance or walk out in the middle of a baseball field. So the night of October 30th, 2001, just 49 days after 9/11, tension was thick, and Bush later said, "I was nervous, really nervous. However, I don't think you can lead a nation if you're worried about your own safety." Hall of Famer Derek Jeter saw President Bush throwing under the stadium before the ceremonial first pitch. He could tell the president was taking it pretty serious. And Jeter and Bush discussed whether he should throw off the mound. And Jeter said, "It's Yankee Stadium." Then added, "But if you bounce it, they'll boo you." Bush has shared that Jeter motivated him. The longtime Yankee public address announcer, Bob Shepard, broadcasted in an esteemed manner. "Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention now to the area in front of the pitching mound for tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And please welcome the President of the United States." The ball felt like a shot put as the president walked to the field wearing a New York Fire Department jacket to honor the Ground Zero first responders. The president went to the mound, took in the crowd, the momentousness, gave the crowd a thumbs up, took a deep breath, and let it fly. The baseball split the middle of the plate. Yankee catcher Todd Green not needing to move his glove, and Yankee Stadium went wild. USA, USA chants ringing throughout the ballpark. President Bush's one pitch said more than any words in a speech. The statement, "We are going to go forward. It's okay to carry on with our lives." It was emotional and powerful. Class of 2020, your young lives have been bookended by two life-altering events, both seemingly catching us by surprise, unleashing high levels of anxiety. The 9/11 attacks united the country against a common enemy and focused national effort on preventing a repeat of what had occurred. Moving forward, masks, personal preventative gear, ventilators, hospital bed capacity, and vaccines will be a part of your lexicon. You've sacrificed a lot this spring of 2020 in an atmosphere of uncertainty about the future. You care about your fellow Americans, and you are understanding that we are all interconnected, and social distancing is a patriotic, selfless act. As you leave high school, you've already learned that America's greatest strength is its resilience and ability to mobilize and unify in times of crisis. I learned those qualities from my grandparents who lived through the Great Depression and World War II. That first pitch, just 6 weeks after the World Trade Center towers fell, allowed Americans to regain confidence. Now you are graduating in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, and you are living your first pitch. Best wishes and congratulations, class of 2020.
I would like to introduce Mr. Mike Hartsock, a 1973 Waynesville High School graduate, as the keynote speaker, which is a new tradition for the class of 2020.
Hello to the Waynesville High School class of 2020 from the Waynesville High School class of 1973. Okay, so that's not quite in your history books as the Dark Ages just yet, but it is getting close. Let me start by saying congratulations on a job well done. But kids, I'm not just talking about you, but just as much to your moms and dads. You might not really appreciate it right now, how tough it was to do what they've done over the last 12 years, but someday you will, and here's hoping you can do the job as good as it was done for you. Now, I'm a sportscaster, so talking in cliches is something that's part of my job, so indulge me for a moment, if you will. My favorite cliche certainly applies to what we're going through right now. Tough times don't last, tough people do. In the last few months, you have been able to tough it out through online classes, no spring sports, no prom, and no graduation day. And look at you today, still smiling and ready to write that next chapter. Look at it this way. It's one final test before you graduate to see if you are really ready to take on the ultimate challenge, becoming an adult. Trust me, that will always be a daily struggle, but the lessons you learned at Waynesville, both in the classroom and out of the classroom, will hopefully send you down the right path. I speak from experience when I say you won't always make the right decisions, but that's okay because, and here's another cliche, mistakes are always the best teacher. One last thing, and again, I speak from experience here. Once a Spartan, always a Spartan. Whether you grew up in Waynesville like me or moved to town from somewhere else, those schools, those streets, those sidewalks in town will always be home. I haven't lived in Waynesville in more than 40 years, but whenever anybody asks me where I'm from, it's Waynesville. My job is let me talk about the Spartan sports teams as well as the band and the cheerleaders too. Nothing makes me more proud than to sit in front of a camera and say, my Waynesville Spartans. Thank you so much for listening, and to the class of 2020, I leave you with this. Make us proud and go Spartans.
At this time, I'd like to have Mr. Brad Connor, President of the Wayne Local Schools Board of Education, to please come to the podium. Mr. Connor, I certify to you that the graduates receiving diploma today have met or exceeded all requirements as established by the Wayne Local Schools Board of Education and the Ohio Department of Education. Seniors, this is the moment you have been waiting for. The Senior Connect teachers, Mrs. Lauren Clark, Mrs. Teresa Johnson, Mrs. Katie Rogers, Mrs. Angie Polzanetti, Mrs. Elizabeth Pardon, and Mr. Dan Stubb will begin the process of reading the names.
Caitlin Erin Abney. Hazelyn Brianne Allmeter. Honors. James Alexander Avella. Mary Elizabeth Baker, Honors. Nicholas Annan Ball. Tasden Lee Bailey. Savannah Jacqueline Barber. Ashley Marie Beach, Honors. Caroline Rose Bensman. Brandon Jernigan Blair, Honors. Bailey Karen Blevins. Olivia Nicole Blythe. Odie Bowman. Corinne Ray Bradley. Nicholas Craig Brill. Carly Danielle Brown. Ryan Davis Brush, Honors. Jade Amnell Buckland. Jaden Celeste Byram.
Joseph Theodore Cockerham. Samuel Philip Colgrove. Owen Bruce Connolly, honors. Bryce Edward Cumbo. Anthony Lamont Curry. Tyler Wayne Dakin. Bryce Andrew Daniel, honors. Harley Ann Deck, cum laude and honors. Kennedy Morgan Dieters, honors. Ryan Matthew Drew, honors. Rihanna Nicole Duncan. Alexander James Dyer. Miles Warren Emerson, honors. Nathan Allen Eschler, summa cum laude and honors. Tanner J. Fannin. Hunter Cole Fillmore. Adam Bradley Frank. Colton Robert Frankenberg. Ryan Keith Gabbard. Aubrey Paige Gibbs, honors.
Kirsten Nicole Gober. McKinley Cole Greeley, summa cum laude and honors. Jared Troy Greer. Dominic Lamont Hammett. Brandy Rose Hamrick. Megan Lee Handel, honors. David Bo Harner. Juliana Caitlin Harder, honors. Grant Allen Henry. Alexander Emmanuel Hines, honors. Gracie Renee Hinkle. Joseph Ryan Hobbs, honors. Garrett Russell Hugel. Kevin James Hutcherson II. Ashley Nicole Jenkins, honors. Kara Renee Jenkins. William Gavin Kelly, magna cum laude and honors. Lindsay Brooke Kelly, honors. Grace Kathleen King. Danielle Justine Kostler, honors. Nathan Allen Kraft. Gabriel Joseph Lee Cronenberger.
Corey Sebastian LeBlanc. Carson Evan Lowe. Mason Jacob Lukens, honors. Braxton A. Milo Layer. Hawk Garrett Mahorny. John Dale McCoy. Patricia Lake Meese. Dale Lee Meeks. Derek Montgomery Miller, honors. Josephine Grace Miller, magna cum laude and honors. Matthew Ryan Moore. Tyler Joseph Moore. Meredith Grace Morris. Skylar Victoria Morgan. David Michael Muth, valedictorian, summa cum laude and honors. Kendra Lynette Neely, Honors. Bryce Adam Nolbertowitz. Sarah Catherine O'Connor.
Ryan Michael Papanak, Honors. Wilhelmina Ann Pardon, Summa Cum Laude, Seal of Biliteracy in Spanish, and Honors. Anna Catherine Perry, Salutatorian, Summa Cum Laude, Seal of Biliteracy in Spanish, and Honors. Devon Elise Phillips, Honors. Emma Maloney Philpott. Jacob Joseph Pruitt, Honors. Gabrielle Elizabeth Price, Honors. Kenzie Sue Perkey, Honors. Sarah Kate Quellhorst. Caden David Racy, Honors. Ethan Cade Richardson. Riley Aaron Rice. Abigail Faith Schneider, Honors. Mason Lee Shepweister, Honors. Hannah Elizabeth Selk. Emery Brooke Siders. Kelsey Renee Stam. Michaela Karen Steinbergy, Honors. Ashton Michelle Stiles.
Parker Coleman Strewing. Gracie K. Van Schaik. Nathan Wayne Treese. Austin David Vaughn. Justin Alexander Vaughn. Lydia Colleen Vredos, magna cum laude and honors. Caleb Bladen Walton, honors. Kylie Lynn Senia Webb, magna cum laude and honors. Taylor Madison Wells, honors. Brendan Joseph Wargowski. Ezekiel Aaron Wessendarp, summa cum laude and honors. Victoria Leanne Wieland. Kylie Ann Whitaker. Nadia Merrill Whitley. Jacob Daniel Wieland, honors. Brandon Michael Williams. Adam Lee Wilkerson. Courtney Grace Wolf, honors. Michael Scott Worthington. Alexis Ellen Wynn, cum laude and honors.
Will the class of 2020 please rise? By the power vested in me as president of the Wayne Local Board of Education, I hereby declare you to be graduates of Waynesville High School. Seniors, please turn your tassels from right to left.
At this time, we will be playing the alma mater, the orange and black, followed by the recessional. Once the alma mater is played and the recessional will start, the ceremony is officially concluded. Members of the Board of Education, Mr. Dubbs, fellow administrators, faculty and staff, parents and friends, and the class of 2020, I, as the principal of Waynesville High School, declare the 148th commencement exercises of Waynesville High School officially over. Congratulations.
Shall